We are back. Apparently, what happened was my grandma called me, which is why I had to mute. But we are back live. My microphone went off, and I didn't plan to face reveal this stream, but I did, even though not necessarily face reveal. See who pops in. You can hear me now. Okay, great. This time we are in landscape form. This time we are in landscape form. So yeah, it's cool, I guess. I don't know. Audio is good. Okay. I don't even know what really disrupted it. It's probably the fact that I got a phone call. So we aren't in green screen land anymore. And yeah, we won't be for the rest of the stream. Sorry. No more green screen. Unfortunately, that's the sad truth. Sad but true. Wait. Dang it, I accidentally did another live highlight. I am going to delete the live highlights. Because, I mean, they're already private, but I'm going to delete the live highlights because, dude, I am not, I don't think my streams are that memorable. Like, come on. Are they? I don't know. It's a good question. You ask. Yeah, I don't think my streams are that memorable. They might be, I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah, probably the blender. Because after I started, because I remember I started streaming regularly in July. This stream is sponsored by RTL SDR. Okay. By the way, dang. Okay, it looks like Josh, Preston, and Zylan haven't. I don't know if they didn't get. They must not have got. I don't know if they got notified or not. They might be back though. This video is sponsored by Roku. Tell Josh that. He'll stop watching the video entirely the moment he hears that Roku's a sponsor. Nope. I don't think he likes that so much. He hates Roku. No, you can't forget, he doesn't call Roku, he calls Roku Raku. You stupid Raku. You stupid Raku. Now, look, I'm trying to watch TV. Raku's trying to act up. Man, Raku. You call it Roku, probably. He says, stupid Raku. I call it Roku. Hello again, man. Stupid Raku. You stupid Raku. Raku. Type energy. Reiku. Yep. Reiku. Somebody calls it Reiku. You know it. Somebody calls it Reiku. Reiku. Hey, it's pretty close. Stupid Raku. Riku. Somebody. Riku. Bro, I have Roku TV. I hope my Roku TV doesn't act up just like Josh's Roku. Southern Pennsylvania WX. Yeah. I do wish you luck, Mint. Seal. Man, I heard these were a fad back in like 1995. This video is sponsored by Duracell. This video is sponsored by Energizer. I really don't care which battery brand it is. I just throw it in my radio and call it a day. They both... Though, apparently I use my Pro 74 so much that I have to replace the batteries in it like once a month. This video is sponsored by Visa. This video is sponsored by MasterCard. This video is sponsored by Wells Fargo. No, you can't forget about everyone's favorite. Or no, you can't forget about probably every single one. If Elon Musk had a YouTube channel. This video is sponsored by Bitcoin. This video is sponsored by Verizon. Okay, no, I would never have Verizon as a sponsor. Screw that. Time to plug my phone into a charger because apparently it's at 20%. Let me make sure my phone's charging. Okay. This video is sponsored by Campbell. You're glad that you don't have Verizon? Huh. I heard AT&T isn't much better though, so like, I don't know. This video is sponsored by Sprint. This video is sponsored by Radio Shack. This video is sponsored by Sears. Or no, you can't forget about everyone's favorite. This video is sponsored by Kmart. Does anybody even remember Kmart? Does anybody in here remember Kmart at all? This video is sponsored by Crystal. Let's go through some other dead companies. Everybody's favorite sponsor. But no, you can't forget about everybody's dead. Dollar General. This video is sponsored by Dollar General. I don't know. I don't think Dollar General is going to need a video sponsor. Dollar General on like every block. Dollar General. Man, name your... You probably can't name... There's $5... There's about... This video is sponsored by Taco Baco. Or no, the best of the dead companies is... Hello, Gain. My name's Gain now. I don't think that's my name. Since when was my name Gain? Gain. Yo, what up, Gain? Huh. Yeah, Gain. I'm Gain. We all know. We all love gain, don't we? How am I doing, Gain? This video is sponsored by T-Mobile. No, you can't. Oh, why don't we just mention everybody's favorite dad company? No. But yeah, this video is sponsored by Kmart. Any of you remember Kmart? Does anybody in the chat remember? This video is sponsored by Toys R Us. Oh man, Toys R Us. I actually even though I've grown up, that doesn't change the fact that I miss Toys R Us. What's up, Braven? Yeah, I remember eating at Little Caesars and Kmart. But now the closest thing you're gonna get is maybe eating Pizza Hut and Target. Even though that hit different also back in the day. The Kmart Edwards 895 BS. Yeah. Toys R Us is such a nostalgic place. I remember... I can't believe it's been almost 8 years since they closed it all down. I remember I can't believe it's been almost 8 years since all the Toys R Us closed down. This video is sponsored by Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network on top, by the way. Cartoon Network's better than... I was more of a Cartoon Net. I like Cartoon Network way more than Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. At least during my time. They closed down Toys R Us. But don't worry. We got Toys R Us. They actually do have Toys R Us in Ireland. And Toys R Us isn't a completely dead company. They're just dead with stores. Unfortunately, no kid who was born past 2018, or really past 2016 or 27, I'd say any kid that's really not born past like 2016, doesn't have any memory of Toys R Us. Which sucks, because Toys R Us was the place. Toys aren't us. I still mess around with my toy cars every now and then. You grew up on Nick Jr. I don't think I really watched Nick Jr. really. I never really watched like True Kids. PBS Kids. Oh yeah, I remember PBS Kids though. I would always eat oatmeal while watching Curious George every night. And that's where I heard my first EAS was on PBS Kids. In fact, I wasn't into EAS at this time, but I actually remember a CRS alert on PBS for a severe thunderstorm warning 10 years ago. Now, I probably would have sucked at recording if I was in EAS back then. The camera would probably be shaking everywhere, but like, you get the point. First one you heard was 2016 when you heard the first weather radio activation. PBS Kids still nostalgic, same. Who remembers Sprout? I sort of remember Sprout. I do remember some Nick Jr. shows. But, for the most part, I wasn't really... I do remember, like, the late 2000s Nick Jr. shows. They weren't... Same day you heard that first activation, you had to take shelter from a tornado warning. You wish. But yeah, sometimes if I was older back in like 2015 or something, 10 years ago, I probably would. If I was into EAS back then, I don't even think I had anything to record on back in 2015. I was pretty young. Not gonna reveal how young I was exactly, but you know. Yeah, Bernstein Bears. I remember watching that in class back in elementary during severe weather. What is it? You vaguely remember having to go inside a family bathroom and staying there for a bit. Oh, and when you mentioned something about removing videos with your face from previous videos, there is still one video with your face that's up. And you did an accidental face reveal while unboxing. TV signal sucks where you're at. You don't really live that close to a big city. Your TV stations, I believe, come from the Richmond area. The Disper. Yeah. The disperse stream reflects so much. Yeah. Fireman Sam. I know that was a show I sort of remember. But another show I remember, I would always like go to bed whenever Sid the Science Kid would come on. I remember that be the show we'd shut off before I went to sleep. I really didn't. And then later on, I grew up like in the mid 2010s. I was into like I watched a lot of Nicktoons. Because I really liked a bunch of those shows. Yep. I would always like whenever that show would come on. When you were little, you mostly watched Cartoon Network. I was more Cartoon Network through a few years ago. Cartoon Network, unlike Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network was like didn't really Super Y. I sort of remember that. But I also knew about some adult animations back then, like King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead. I remember seeing King of the Hill come on Adult Swim, and that would be the one show my dad would let me stay up and watch, was King of the Hill. Yeah, Super Y. I don't vividly remember it, but I definitely remember like hearing that name, and that takes back to when I was like just really young. But yeah, and then I remember the one show my dad would let me stay up and watch on Adult Swim would be King of the Hill. King of the Hill is a childhood classic, even if it is adult animation. Yeah. Why was he super? That's a good question. I don't know. Here's your chance to be a recom. But yeah, because he was an ultra. Good question. Yeah. Xylon. What was that? What I think you were trying to reference? Not gonna lie, y'all. I'm like low-key forgetting it's a Tuesday night. Mainly because I don't have school tomorrow. But at the same time, I sort of remember Peg and Cat. I remember Dinosaur Train sort of too. Weird. Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. There's another PBS Kids show I remember. Max and Ruby. Yeah. I don't know. I really go back to the memories of me eating freaking. I didn't really like Daniel Tiger, really, no. I liked Max and Ruby a lot, though, when I was little. I never watched Clifford, but I read some of the stories back in the day. Oh, yeah. I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo as well, especially the, I watched mainly I watched a mix of, like, all the Scooby-Doo stuff. I swear. Mr. Rogers. Yeah, they did, actually. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I couldn't stand most shows that had songs in it, though. That's how I was. I couldn't stand musical stuff. And to this day, a lot of Disney princess movies, if I hear them on in the background, I somewhat get annoyed because I'm not huge into musical stuff. I don't watch musicals. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only music I listen to, I mean, there's some comedic music songs maybe, but for the most part, like, I'm not into musicals at all. Every time we had to sit through a musical in class, you couldn't stand that thunderstorm episode on Peppa Pig. Oh, I remember Peppa Pig too. What's crazy is half of these shows are still running. They're still running. They're still making new episodes in 2026. You're not crazy in the musicals. I'm not into musicals. Yeah, Neptune, Nosro. Half of these shows are still running. That's crazy. They canceled like most of the good ones though. Oh, I remember Arthur. I think they like just cancel Arthur like a year ago. I did not like Kids Bop. I hated Kids Bop when I was younger. I'm so glad I haven't heard a Kids Bop song in the last 5 years. I hated Kids Bop when I was little. But yeah, I don't really watch TV yet. I think it was it was like a year or two ago. It was not long ago. And keep in mind, Arthur ran almost as long as The Simpsons did. Even though The Simpsons is still going. In my opinion, let me say this. The Simpsons should have ended years ago. And this is coming from somebody who loves like the first, probably I even give like up to like the first 10 to 15 seasons. But like our favorite show, bro. What? The Simpsons are the ultra predictors. That's probably the reason why they're still running. Is so they can predict more stuff. No. Dude, what is this chat, bro? Xylon, I think you're just taking your ideas from Roaring Soda's comment section. Those who know. Lord help us all, yep. The Simpsons say a super outbreak hits Alabama in 2028, and I will prepare years early. 2028 is only 2 years away. So, yeah. The Simpsons just won. You nicknamed it the Yellow Show because you didn't know what the show was called and everybody was yellow. Yeah, not everybody's yellow, but most are. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah. Yeah, I get if you called it the yellow show, it's pretty similar. They put me in The Simpsons. I was the blue one. I just don't have the right editing softwares to make a scenario, but I do have voice text Paul. Believe it or not, I also have voice text Paul now. Thank you. Or I have something very similar. It probably is like very similar to Vortex Paul. Voice text Paul. It's probably not 100% there, but it's the closest opportunity. But I actually have it because there was this one website that I found out how to make it sound mostly like it. I gotta edit how it sounds on Thunderstorm, but in one stream, his name was Kanawha County WX. He gave me a link to some Paul thing to the something that's similar to voice text Paul. Yeah, Gateway. Oh yeah, Gateway is part of the reason why people wanted voice text so bad. Thing is, he had macros as well, so he'd have like it to get not only get the pronunciations right, but he also would get it to where it sounds like the exact same exactly how the NWS would sound it. Wake up, there's an alert. Yeah, he quit EAS in November of 2024. That's when a lot of people quit EAS community. That's when most people quit the community, but he quit EAS altogether. Dude, November 2024 was probably the month the EAS community went down. Because pretty much everyone left, including me. I'm not... And ever since then, especially nowadays, I just... Yeah. I'm just, especially recently, like, I make it to where I don't even hear about EAS drum anymore. You feel like most enthusiasts probably don't know you? Well, at least a few of them do, because you have almost 1K. You still post, but you left in the community. Yeah, you post a lot. You're just as dedicated to alerts as you've ever been. You're still in EAS community. Oh, that's not... Yeah, I get it if you're still in the community. Most enthusiasts. Josh, you sometimes underestimate just how big of a community you have. It's crazy because everyone knows you. Yeah, Josh, I'm going to be honest. You have way bigger of a community than you give yourself credit. Only you can get away with having 100 plus mods. Trust me, yeah, Josh has a way bigger community than Josh, you have a way bigger community than you give credit. Think of why so many people go. Yeah. Yeah. Washington County WX and Ray. I haven't talked to him much. You have a small to medium sized. Yeah. I'd say a decent size. I have a good sized community for a channel with 600 subs in the EAS. And it is small compared to a lot of YouTube, but I'm glad I have it for what I have, and And again, my community went through a huge expansion in summer 2025. Like, I beginning you're predicting first TORE. Only thing I'm gonna say is I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, because BMX has had a couple tornado emergencies while you've been uploading still. Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. Savannah, Tennessee. Fun fact, I've only been to Savannah, Georgia, not Savannah, Tennessee, so I can't really say anything about Savannah, Tennessee. It's a really small town in Hardin County. I'm pretty sure most people in the world don't know where Hardin County is on a map. You're expanding your content, not just to EAS, but everything everyone likes. You missed the Tallapoosa County, DeKalb County, and Madison County ones. But yeah, my community has pretty much went through a huge expansion. I became closer with people who were already subbed, and then I gained like I gained 200 and I gained almost 250 something, 260 something subscribers in 2025, which I almost doubled my I'm almost double my subscriber count from where I was in December 2024. I find it crazy. The thing is, between July 2024 and June 2025, I was in a huge stalemate until I hit 400, I mean. And then once I hit 400, that changed. You also have like 12 people on your ban list? I have 12 people already? Me, on my ban list, I only have... I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna drop any names. I have like 5. And I don't even think it's 5 people. It's just 5 accounts. You have 0 people in your ban list? Fair. That's actually a good feeling, honestly. I have like 2 or 3 total people who are banned, but like they're pretty obvious. I'm not gonna drop any names. Most of you know who one of the dudes is. Don't say it. Don't start saying his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But I don't want to talk about him, but most of y'all know who that is. You have no people. That's what happens when you don't go to EAS Discord servers. Fair, I don't have Discord either. I know about I don't really... That's another reason why I'm actually pretty good at staying out. You know who... You probably do, but again, don't say his name. We know who it is. And then there's a few others, like, really bad. There's a few, like, spammers, but... Yeah, Neptune didn't say... Neptune, what are you apologizing for? You didn't say anything. You don't have anything to apologize about? I mean... If you said his name behind your screen, I'm not gonna get onto you. You didn't do anything, Neptune. What are you apologizing for? Like, I know you said I remember you said a few months back that you have a history of you thought you meant, don't say the band name, because you said you banned Randall.
Oh. Oh, I'm not talking about you. I said, don't say my band name. Yeah, you didn't do anything. You deleted your messages? I just noticed that. Piedmont, you're banned. Then you're unbanned. Okay, buddy. You're getting 3 Tornado Joes tomorrow. Also, guys, RWT is tomorrow. I might be getting the RWT, but it won't. Unfortunately, I didn't. So what happened was I was gonna bring my. This is funny. This is actually funny. Hold on. So I was gonna bring my I was gonna bring my ER 10 here to my grandparents' house for the winter storm. But as y'all know, I did have to go to school Friday. So I went in, and I literally left my ER10 at school. It is sitting in my locker right now. It is sitting in my locker at school right now. Yeah. It activates and it's over. Yeah, dude, what's crazy is it's probably gonna activate at 11 a.m. Wednesday, right? But nobody's gonna be there because school's canceled. So it's literally gonna go off in the hallway when nobody's in there and it's all dark. I think that's funny to think about, honestly. It's gonna sound literally all day. Dude. Something tells me it's gonna... Dude, I am screwed if that thing ghost activates at, like... Is the alert function on? I think it is. I don't know, though. But I have a feeling that it's gonna go off at 11 a.m. But, like, nobody's gonna be in the locker because school's out. I don't have school tomorrow. In fact, if I did have school tomorrow, I wouldn't be live right now. I'd be getting ready for bed. I usually go to sleep about 10:15, 10:30. But I would not be live right now if I had school tomorrow. In fact, I'm surprised y'all stayed on this long, because I'm sure that... Okay, I know Neptune is Central Time, so you're not sick to your stomach because of that. Yeah. It's just gonna sound off in the locker. Yep. But yeah, I know. Yeah, you're in Central Time, so Neptune's gonna be up for a little bit longer than I would be because you're an hour behind. It's 8:53 for you. It's 8:54 for you. Veals is homeschooled. I know Chicopee has to go to school in the morning, but he says he stays up late, so that's why he's still here. I wouldn't be surprised that if Mint left because he had to go to bed. 12 people, dang. Hi, guys. Who's hiding in the shadows? Say hello. No school for... No, Josh. You don't even have college anymore because your attention span is so cooked here. Oh, Mint, you are still here. Josh is in Alaskan time. No, you feel like that feeling if your name is called out and then feel like you did something wrong and then you feel like your stomach starts doing crazy stuff? Oh, yeah, that's happened to me a bunch of times. Tomorrow you have online class. Oh, Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm assuming your county's out, too. I forgot that you... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. You always worry you annoy your friends. Yeah, I sort of know that from experience. But for the most part, you've never annoyed me. You've never annoyed me. Honestly, rarely any EAS creators really annoy me unless they're like all about drama or whatever. Then I get annoyed. Especially if you bring up drama in my chat, but no drama. No drama in here. That's peak, bro. Getting jump scared on remote. Suwannee County Tone, Florida's next time. Suwannee County. You'll bring up drama. Watch this. So basically, oh, dude. Not gonna lie, pineapple on pizza. That is peak drama right there. So basically, you're in. The only thing I remember from that drama between you and him is like, I remember you, him, and Preston were arguing, but I was just spending the entire time just talking to Faraway about DXing. Like nothing was going on. I remember that. Starting a riot right now. Everybody go to his house. I'm just kidding. Obviously, don't go to his house. Go to his house. Yeah. Take him to prison. You live in one county live. The funny thing is you've never had pineapple on pizza before. I have. It was mid. I wouldn't eat it again, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Very Cool said we should show up to his house and send him to the gulag. Okay, that's crazy. On issue. Wild. This chat is wild. Very much so. You get the feeling. Not gonna lie though, I have enjoyed chatting with y'all a lot. This seems great to sometimes just talk with y'all. You know what I mean? You need to join streams more often. Do it when you can, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. There's times that I can't join. As y'all know, there's obviously going to be times where we can't join. Everybody has their busy moments, you know. Not everybody's time I don't think there will ever be a time where we get everybody on one stream. I've gotten near that. And that was my first ever chat stream. Like, my first ever true chat stream. Which was basically what started the streaming journey. Josh also saved that, by the way. Shout out to him, I guess, even though he has like 50 billion times more people in his community. All y'all know him. Come on now. Trust me. Like, in fact, every single person in the chat right now, except for Veals, knows me through him. Knows me through Josh. Veals is the only one who discovered me beforehand. You're predicting I'll surpass you in subscribers in 2027. Maybe 2026. You are 100 OG. You are. I'm going to be honest. You are OG. And I'm OG of you too, by the way. I was part of your first 100. You can fake me. But yeah, the only one that... You're not an OG to any channel. You joined late. Yeah, I get it. I'm an OG to Veals. I'm an OG subscriber, and I'm an OG show. I am one of the OGs when it comes to showing up to Josh's streams. That's probably your OG, technically. I'm sort of an OG of Josh. I'm an OG subscriber. Also an OG. I joined his streams like about 3 weeks into them. Because there was one stream where he was eating Peeps back in like May of 2022, and I hopped on and said the Peeps are haunted. Probably the most random thing. You're sort of an OG. Yeah, I guess I could consider you one. Here, guys, your blender just crashed. No, that's why you don't blend Pepto-Bismol and battery acid together. Bad. That's bad. Your YouTube channel's older than most OGs. Because you have a video called The 10 Clown Tragedy from 2008. Oh, you got a B-sod on your blender. Boo-hoo. This channel was originally owned by your grandparents. They uploaded 10 Clown Tragedy. Yeah. And then it got passed over to you. And then you got it passed over to you. You said at the beginning of 2022 and then started uploading. Never since then, trust me, the amount of EAS creators who's probably ran into your channel just to see that video and they're like, since when? And heck, your grandparents even left some reply comments. Crazy. There are so many videos from 2008 to 2022 that are unlisted or were deleted. The first videos on this channel were from 2015. Though those videos were deleted all the way back in 2021. I have actually... Guys, is Patrick a W? Yes, Patrick is a W. You are 1000% correct. You owned your channel the entire way. Oh, I'm guessing your account was created in 2018, so if I had to guess, you probably are. Back then, you probably just used it for viewing for the first 2 years. I used this channel for viewing for about a year before I started uploading on it. I didn't even... my channel was like I was almost completely anonymous behind the channel for like 6 months, and then I started uploading videos from local alerts because I finally got my I affect some of my old 2022 videos look like they were recorded in like 2010 because they were recorded on an iPhone. Some of my first YouTube videos were recorded on an iPhone 5. I subbed to Josh's channel around the same time, I think. Maybe, no, it was he was about a year and a half. October 2021 here. Yeah, that's crazy. Your channel's older than most famous YouTube channel. Yeah, my channel's older than some famous ones, but yeah, if I was the owner of the channel and uploaded EAS back then, I would have been considered an OG. Maybe the newer OGs. I don't think everybody who uploaded CRS is really an OG. I'd say anyone from like 2007, but like 2006, 2007 over to about. Oh yeah, you would have easily been considered a major OG because remember, Cranford didn't start uploading until 2011, and Lightning Bolt didn't start uploading until 2009. Most OGs started uploading around 2009. You were dead in 2008. Yeah. But we have. If you go, you created this channel in January 2015, but that was on your old channel. If you began and you wouldn't be the first. There's a few EAS videos from as far back as 2006. But you would definitely be an OG, major OG, and you'd probably have like well over 1K subs. You would definitely be on the older side though, because again, as I said, Cranford didn't start uploading until 2011. Lightning Bolt didn't start uploading until 2009. That would have been pretty cool though, to be an OG pioneer in what would become. And again, obviously, we're not a famous community on YouTube, but we're a huge one. Let's just say that. There's thousands of EAS creators out there. We ain't big. We have some big creators with like huge subscriber counts, but that's not really anything. That's amazing, Braven. Oh, I'm glad. You don't have to live with that stress that you've been living with for the past, I don't even know how long. That's actually how I heard about you first. Oh yeah, DFA had 16,000. But there's some crazy ones for newer EAS creators that have nothing to do with EAS. Look at Southeastern New York WX, for example. He has 43,000. And he used to have 45,000. There's also some that have, like, really big videos. You know. There's also some that have, like, really big videos. Y'all might know Kyland or SBC Robeson County EAS. He has a short with 10 million views. It's some kind of meme short, which is one of the shorts on YouTube, but still. Yeah, Kyland. Yeah, he has a video with 10 million views on it. And I remember, because of that, his sub count, I think, skyrocketed from, like, I think it's somewhere in the hundreds, up to 3.5 thousand within about a week. No, it's not. My most popular video has 77,000 views, and that was a Beavis and Butthead clip. Y'all can go watch it if y'all want. Just look at my most popular long form. My most popular short was... What's funny is my most popular short... If you look at my most popular short, it is a elevator video where my cousin makes a very funny error. Can y'all name it? Josh might be able to name it. Can y'all name it? See if I'm gonna give y'all about 30 seconds to see if y'all can name the error. Remember the error. Or I'll probably give you about 60 seconds. See if y'all can remember the error. You don't know. How about you, Josh? Do you remember what the iconic error in my second most popular video, most popular short is? It was a huge center of my first live stream, by the way. Alright. Y'all brace for this. South Bend. And you know, he recorded an elevator in South Bend, Indiana. But here's the error. South Bend, Illinois. Where is that? That video has 21,000 views. South Bend, Illinois. Does anybody know where that is? I don't think I do. Sup, Cruz? Hope you're having a good night. But yeah, South Bend, Illinois. Did anybody know where that is? Your most popular short is the transmission from 2025 to 2026. I also have one of deers running through my grandparents' yard. And then I have another one of the world's creepiest Kone, which is sort of the video that got me, it sort of started, like, my visit in the elevator community. The new Alexa. No, hey Alexa, can you play NOAA Weather Radio? Or no, that's not, okay, no, that's not your most popular, but that's one of your most popular. It's a title in all caps. Alexa can play NOAA Weather Radio. And everybody knows which station it lands on. Wait, if that's an EAS compilation, then I'd say... If that is an EAS compilation, that's probably what got you. That's probably part of the reason why you have as many subscribers as you do. I've never had an EAS comp even hit. I have never had an EAS video. Or I think I had like one EAS video. Your voice is cooked from a basketball game at your school tonight. You have to get braces in the morning? Oh. Oh, it's not an EAS compilation. Oh. Your voice is cooked. I'm sorry about that. You have to get braces? Mm. You never had an EAS video hit 1K views? I don't think I ever have either. I've had a couple of videos get close to 1K, but never actually an EAS video that hit 1K on its own. Braces suck. My mom was trying to get me them for so long, but then she finally realized my teeth aren't that crooked, so I'm not getting braces. So I said, originally my idea was to get Invisalign because my mom wanted to give me braces so bad, but I told her that that's my best option for me personally. But thankfully, we never even had to get that. So my teeth are straight enough to where I don't need braces. I get it. They're not the most straight, but like, be honest. I knew braces were gonna suck, especially because I'd be restricted and couldn't eat like different foods. You had braces for a bit. Invisalign. That's like the most common. I think that's the most common form of braces now. You see more and more people get Invisalign. Invisible. Yes. To where you don't even know unless they tell you that they have it. You still got it, believe it or not. So Veals knows. My cousin had it for a while. But I was about to get it, but my teeth are straight enough to where, I don't need them. So basically what I've been having ever since is I've just, you might need braces. You guarantee you it's better than braces, almost. I would say it looks like, I think the effects are the same, but the difference, I think, is it's less painful to install, and it sounds like it. It does sound like it, I agree. But, yeah. Dude, not gonna lie, I did not think I'd be live this long tonight. You have a headache? Yeah, probably so. Bro, I have high pain tolerance, so like if I get a headache, I have to take Tylenol like almost immediately. Because if I don't, like, I end up puking. Because, you know how I have high pain tolerance, so that's yeah. You're predicting a moderate risk in March or April. Who knows? There's a chance you could get a moderate risk this month. It wouldn't be too out of the ordinary because Alabama has gotten wintry moderate risks. It's been a couple of years, but it's possible. Who knows with how it's possibly looking, if the severe weather threat goes upwards, you could have a moderate risk realistically in about a week and a half. You had one last year in January. Wait, I think was that January 2024? I don't remember there being one in January 25. In fact, January 25, high risk next week. It wouldn't be too surprising. I mean, I don't think this severe system, how it looks, if it goes through, if Cruz is still here, he might know something about it, because he's a part of the WX community where, you know, they do the forecast videos. Shout out to some of my dudes over there, by the way. You know, they got some great forecast videos. Obviously, you know, y'all are gonna have a 101%. Plus, did you hear that they're adding 90% risks, wind risks, to the SPC outlooks? Yeah, I don't know. Alabama will be in one of those. 90% wind risks. Yep, SPC is adding that starting in March. 75 and 90% wind risks. I think they used to only go up to like 45 or 60, but they added 75 and 90% wind risks. If you're in a 90% wind risks, I'm saying if you're in a 90% wind risk, your chance of your power going out are probably almost 100%. I've never lost my power from direct severe weather, except one time in July 2022. North Carolina tornado drill is on the 4th. If you're in a 90% wind risk, you're dead. Oh, I am too. I doubt it's gonna be that high here, but I don't know. We've never had a high risk in the Charlotte area. We've had a couple moderates, but we've never had a high. The last time my county was under a PDS tornado watch was, you guessed it, April 27th, 2011. Who's getting severe weather? Possibly us next week. Yeah, we had a PDS. That's the last time I was under a PDS tornado watch. April 27th, 2011. It was actually that severe here. We were under like a very small pocket of a moderate risk. And then but we were like on the very tip end of the moderate, like the enhancer's right there. I believe what's crazy is I've been under PDS-TOAs and PDS-TORs. I've never been under a TORE. I've been under one PDS-TOA way back in 2011. Was under a PDS-TOR last time was in 2020, February 6th. I still remember being in school, dude, I remember we were spending like several hours doing the tornado thing. You've never been in a PDS-TOA. I know you've been in a flash flood emergency. Also, I've been in an FFWE too. I've been under an FFWE as well. I think I've also been under a PDS SVR, I believe, but I don't necessarily remember. I know August 7th, 2023, which that was when my EAS hobby was at an all-time low. While I had this channel, late summer 2023, that was my all-time low for EAS. You've been under PDS TOR SVR for tornado like wind speeds. Well, you know who's also been under PDS TOR? I don't know if any of you remember, but I think it was it June 19th, 2023, June 18th, 2023, there was a SVR in Tulsa, Oklahoma for 100-mile-per-hour wind gust. And yes, it was worded like a PDS tornado warning. You were under a moderate on 8.7. I think I was also under a moderate. It might have been I think it was either that or it was an overperforming enhanced. It was crazy here. Yep. I guarantee you, Tulsa they actually had to issue a civil emergency message because of that SVR. which I think is wild. I've never actually heard of that. You've been under four high risk. Only one of them is on your channel, though. I've been under 0 high risks. 1 moderate risk is on my channel. Or 1 enhanced. I don't even know if there's a moderate risk. Like, when I used to capture streamed alerts, I got a ton of high risk alerts, but I stopped doing stream alerts after Helene. I've been entirely local since late 2024. North Carolina hasn't had 0 high risks. We've had, I'm talking about here in the Charlotte area. We've had, or there might have been one in the Charlotte area years back, but I don't remember. We've had 1 high risk, and that was April 16th, 2011, here in North Carolina. April 16th, 2011 was a high risk. Here, it was a moderate, but that was a high risk for Eastern North Carolina. It was a pretty big storm. The overshadowed outbreak. The reason why it's overshadowed is because of what would happen just 11 days later. Enter April 27th, 2011. Which also did hit North Carolina, by the way. Not as bad as it hit Alabama. Not even nearly as bad, but you know. But yeah, the 2 states that were impacted by April 27th, the worst were again Alabama and Mississippi. Tennessee got hit, but April 27th had many big cities. And keep in mind, April 27th, 2011 had several tornadic impacts and all that stuff. And again, if you watched the James Spann ABC 3340 outbreak coverage, I'll watch it like once a year usually when the tornado outbreak hits at the year anniversary. I don't watch the whole thing because again it's 11 hours long, but I'll watch like clips of it mainly about the big tornadoes and even like the last hour where it's like, everybody talking about the damages and whatever. That's what I'll see. You're lurking. Of course you are. You always lurk. That's your specialty. Man, I'm telling you, I've been live for nearly 3 hours. I think that's crazy. Apparently some people think Tuscaloosa was an EF5. Yeah, because there's so many EF5s that were overshadowed by Tuscaloosa's EF4. I even thought Tuscaloosa was an EF5, but Tuscaloosa, yeah. Yeah, Tuscaloosa was an EF4. Believe it or not, El Reno was only an EF3. Which I think is surprising. I heard El Reno was only an EF3. And El Reno is a historic tornado. I don't know, it could be an EF4, but I've heard a lot of it about an EF3. I know El Reno wasn't an EF5, though, that's for sure. Another big one was the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. But yeah, El Reno had a couple famous tornadoes. There's El Reno EF3 is the one that most people talk about, though, and that was on May 31st, 2011. Moore, Oklahoma. Moore has gotten slammed by 2 EF5s. Not 1, 2. Both, I think both of those tornadoes are like in the memorable. But the EF3 is like known for I think it's known historically for how big it is, how big it was. The reason why it wasn't ranked higher is because of it. Yeah, there were two EF5. Moore is a pretty big town, pretty big city though. I think like Moore and Norman, Norman, by the way. These cities got hit by 2 EF5s, one in 1999 and one in 2013. I I like vividly remember hearing stuff about, I vaguely remember hearing stuff. I remember hearing stuff about the Moore tornado on the international news, on like the national news stuff. I don't even remember which one it was. Probably ABC. I don't even remember. As y'all can hear, I'm getting tired, but it's been a chill day. I ate dinner really early. Tanner is tiny. Yeah, I was like, Tanner, listen, I'm familiar with Alabama towns because I've been almost across the entire state. I haven't been to Birmingham since I was really little, though. But I've been across there a long time. And, like, I've never heard anything about Tanner, Alabama. And I've heard of random towns in Alabama like Camden. You can't hear anything? Dude, what could have happened to my mic to make it to where you can't hear anything? It's probably, your phone's probably being like mine is with Josh's stream sometime. And Josh said, I think Josh said, you can't be, I wasn't lying about it being muted, but like, it's probably your phone. Close out and go back in. Yeah, that's what I had to do. No, it's just your ears were blinded. Oh, okay. Well, hey, hi. You can hear. Hi. Hey. Hey, yo. What's up? Hello. Hi. Hi-lo. Hi. Hi. Hey. Hey, who? Hi. Okay. 80 minutes on 2 streams is crazy. Again, if this was a normal school night, everybody remembers Hilo. Yeah, Tanner. What's crazy is, that's a town in Alabama I haven't heard of, and I've been almost across. Bray uncool, don't make me blend is crazy. By the way, that's not apparently that's not a typo. He thinks I'm really not cool, which is a shame of him. Nobody denies the coolness of me. Nobody at all on human planet Earth. Bray, probably cool. See, at least Neptune's more positive than you, Veals. He's more positive, at least. Show some positivity, buddy. Oh, Josh, I meant to say, I was gonna, I forgot what I was gonna tell you. But, yeah, guys, I have my winter storm, Gianna, no, you are not. Buddy, you are not the coolest person in the world. You don't even live in a cool place. It's not even that cold there. What are you talking about? You're the coolest person in the world. They live in Alaska. The coolest people in the world live in Alaska. Their name is Central Virginia. Central Virginia, yeah. No, let's just start. You have Uno reverse in your hand. Dang, so you're turning into a BMX creator now, Veals? You can't even have your name Veals anymore because it stands for Virginia EAS and Life Safety. The coolest people live in Greenland and Antarctica. Oh, yeah. That's where the coolest people live. Your name isn't Veals. Yes, I know. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually thought that was your real name. Or at least a nickname that was like family known. But no, it's only a nickname on YouTube. I found that out through a community post because you said it stands for Virginia EAS and Life Safety. Your name is WX Radio. I remember those. DiGiorno Rising Crust. DiGiorno Rising Crust. What if the coolest people live in and you admitting to be uncool? No, the most uncool people. Because of you, I am now Neptune LWX. Actually, no, you would actually be Neptune AKQWX. Central Alabama EAS. Mm-hmm. You're actually Central AKQ. You're actually Neptune AKQWX now. Yeah, sucks. Doesn't blend in anymore. Neptune AKQWX is crazy. Yeah, but I know. I know because his county is an AKQ county. I thought he was RNK this whole time. No. Believe it or not, actually, speaking of Veals, what's crazy is I actually did meet him, but while he still lived in Florida. Fun fact. Central Alabama EAS. Stupid. He thought he was LWX the entire time. And I thought I was RNK. You never lived in Florida. Well, neither did I. But he used to think I lived in Wilmington. So, I guess it's nothing new. He used to think I lived on the NC coast. Which I'll admit is probably more understandable than thinking I lived in... Yeah. Most people who ran across my channel... thought I lived in Mecklenburg County, which is probably the most understandable mix-up. You lived in a Minecraft air house? Oh man, that's peak. She probably thinks every person on the planet lives in Florida now. People thought you lived in State College. Up in, was it, what county is it? Was it Center County? I think that's the correct one. I know Center County's up there. People always thought that the most understandable mix-up is if you thought I lived in Mecklenburg County. Because Mecklenburg County is the bordering county to mine. Center County? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. But if you thought I lived in Mecklenburg County, I think that's the most understandable. Though I don't get why you think I live near the coast. I can't even receive frickin' KHB 31. I can't receive um KHB 31. Can't receive KC 84. Can't receive KEC 95. You technically don't even live in Birmingham. You're just outside of it. I technically don't live directly in Charlotte. I live in Gaston County, and most of my local on the Eats videos are Gastonia. Dothan, Vortex, and Hilo. You speaking about Dothan, Alabama? You still live in Jefferson County. So I'd still say you're basically Birmingham there. Yes. I live in suburban county. Augusta County, Virginia. So he now lives in Houston County, which is what they get for talking about Dothan. Not gonna lie, Dothan. I think I have like one or two family members. I have a small amount of family members that live in Dothan, Southeast Alabama, EAS. No, you can't forget Neptune. No, he's Neptune TAEWX. You got a question? What's that question, buddy? What's that question? What you want to ask? What you asking me? How did we go from talking about how cool we are to where we're living in? I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I thought you lived closer to You have family mostly in Alabama and Tennessee, but also some in Georgia, Missouri, and North Carolina. I know you have some in North Carolina because you come out here. Who knows, one day you might run into me. There's definitely a chance because you come to this area a lot. Or at least the last time you here I think was it almost a year ago? You want to go back to North Carolina? Well, yeah. You have family mainly in Maryland. And, you ended up making a pinned comment on your elevator. And you ended up making a pinned comment on your elevator video, letting us know that you were, in fact, born in Maryland, not Pennsylvania. So Josh is technically from Maryland. You go back to Alabama. I live right near Belmont. Wait, hold on. Wait. Is your family directly, like, if you're... I live right near Belmont. No, if you were staying in Belmont, I could have definitely ran into you. There we go. I live in Gastonia. I live in Gastonia. So, I could have definitely ran into you. Your hotel was in Belmont? Which hotel did you stay at? Was it the, Homewood? That's the only one. There's a Homewood, there's the Hampton Inn. I know there's Homewood, and there's Homewood. You feel like you're most likely to run into Landon? Yeah, you're definitely more likely to run into Landon. You're definitely more likely to run into Landon than JEM because Landon's face revealed, and also JEM lives in Tuscaloosa County. So, yeah, you'd definitely be most likely to run into Landon. In fact, I'd say there's a decent chance you will one day. Because Landon also lives in Jefferson County. The Hampton? Oh, yeah, I've been to that Hampton before. The most, like, I think the GSP enthusiast I'm most likely to run into is probably Jay, honestly. If I'm ever in southern Pennsylvania, northern Maryland, I might. You were in, it was in November during your birthday. Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. If you ever come back to Belmont again, I'll be. Again, I live right near Belmont. You have thought of states to move to, and North Carolina's on that list. I'd argue North Carolina's pretty cool. I am probably gonna move out of Gaston County specifically. I want to go on a trip to Talladega. I would, honestly. I would love to go see the Talladega Super Speedway. Just know that when you do, you will be busted by your parents for having viewers memorized by your voice. Yeah, I'm likely not gonna run into you though, because admittedly, most of the time when you are out, you're across the state line, and Baltimore DC Metro is huge. So for you, probably North Carolina or Colorado. Fair. But yeah, I'd say the EAS enthusiast in general I'm most likely to run into is probably Jay. You might go to Philly in March. That's cool. I might go to New York City in 2027 or 2028. I think I might go to DC in 2027 and then New York in 2028. As of this year, I'm staying in the South this year specifically, though. I think I might be going to Gatlinburg late this month or early next month. And then I'm going to go to Florida in May. And then I'm either going to go back to Florida or I'm going to go to Georgia. You're going to go to Japan in 2027. Lucky you, bro. I would love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to... Yeah, I'd love to go to Japan. Especially, I would love to go to just 7-Eleven. And they have literally vending machines for everything there. They have vending machines for the most random crap in Japan. They also have, I think, thousands of Kit Kat flavors. It's crazy. In Japan. I'd love to go to Japan. But yeah, I'm most likely going to be staying in the United States until at least 2030. Mystery vending, yep. Yeah, I'm likely going to be in the United States until at least 2030. My next trip for sure, though, is Florida in May. But Gatlinburg's almost guaranteed. It's actually going to be it's a combination of both mine and my baby sister's birthday trips. And I know it's pretty late because my birthday was over a month ago, but we're gonna go to the mountains for a weekend. My mom wants to go snow tubing, but if we're gonna go there in March, you might as well just go ahead and bank on it. Especially if it's later in March, we're just gonna go ahead and bank. You want to visit all 50 U.S. states? Same. I've only been to 8 states so far. 9 if you count D.C., but I don't know if anybody counts D.C. as a state. Somehow you don't have Mississippi. That's crazy. You literally live like 2 hours from Mississippi. Though, I'll admit, it's probably the same way for me with Kentucky. I don't have Kentucky marked off, which is probably surprising. I don't have Kentucky. I don't have... The closest state I haven't been to is... I originally thought it was West Virginia, but I found out I went there when I was like really little. So, yeah, I've been to West Virginia, like, years back. I've been to Virginia a few times. I've been to Maryland once. Or, actually, yeah. The furthest north I've been is Baltimore, which... Yeah. You've been to Georgia more times than you count. I would still count Mississippi if you drove through it. Me, personally, if you drive through a state, you've been there. Even if you ain't stayed there. So, I usually mark off a state if I didn't stay there still. I've stayed in most of the states I've been to. The exception is West Virginia. The two exceptions is West Virginia and... Actually, I think it is just West Virginia. It's up to you if you want to count it, though. It's up to you if you want to count it, but I personally would. I've never crossed into Mississippi before. But, yeah, actually, take that back. I've spent the night in every single state I've been to. Except for D.C. Again, if you count D.C., I haven't spent the night there. I spent the night in Alabama. Alabama's the most recent state when it comes to new. You mostly visited Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina. I've been to all of those. My primary states are Florida, South Carolina, obviously. I go to South Carolina like once. I go to South Carolina at least once a month. I've been to Georgia more times than I can count. I spent the night in Georgia both in 2021 and 2023. I spent the night in Alabama, which is my most recent new state that I spent the night in 2024. I spent countless times in Florida, in different parts of the state too. I spent a couple nights in Jacksonville. I've spent a total of about a month in Orlando because I've been to Disney a couple times, and I've spent several nights in the Panhandle. I don't travel a crazy amount, but when I do, I usually do go on pretty far trips. Again, a lot of time it is to the same places, though this year that might change. You've been to count the ones, if you're just counting the ones you spent the night in, you've been to Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Oklahoma. My most likely of those states to be next on my list is New Jersey. Probably. So, if you want to, you can count Mississippi and Texas. I do count states I've driven through, though. I've also spent the night in every state I've driven through. But I did count Alabama back in, 2023 as well. But my most recent new state by driving in was all the way back in 2018 when I went to Maryland. Yet to go to Pennsylvania. I might be in Pennsylvania in 2027. How many times have I been to Alabama? Countless. Spent the night, just one week though. But I've been to Alabama in general several times. You gotta go now. Have a great night. Have a great night too, Mint. I'm gonna get off here in a minute because it's almost 11. And I don't want to be asleep until 10:30 again. Because I literally went to sleep last night at about 11. I went to sleep last night at about 11:15. Woke up at 10:30. And I'm like, how? Usually I sleep about 9 hours each night. About 8 on school nights, but... The states you've been to are the states along I-70 and several states. That is several states, because I-80... Lag. I love lag. Just kidding, I absolutely hate lag, but it happens. No, I love lag, y'all. No, I hate it. No, I love it. No, I hate it. Okay, y'all actually know my actual feelings, but... Lag. There was a huge lag. Lag. Most iconic word in live streaming. Part of the reason why I didn't do live streaming back in the day. And not gonna lie, I started to feel as I started streaming too much around mid to late September, so that's why they slowed down. Next states to visit are gonna be... Of all those three, I gotta go to Kentucky soon. Kentucky's another state I'm likely to at least drive through. Orleans, though, one day. Okay. What's okay? I don't know what's okay. Do you know what's okay? I don't know. They don't. He doesn't. Yeah, Beals doesn't. He doesn't know. It's okay. He just says okay, and that's okay, I guess. Dang, bro. We have been live for 3 hours now. In total. Because I know this one's an hour 40 and the last one. I am archiving these probably because it's actually been pretty cool streams. You lost the topic. 3 hours total. Because my last one was about an hour and something minutes. I think an hour and a half. And this one's an hour 40. Yeah, this 3 hours total, because this one's about an hour 40 and the previous one's an hour 30. Dang. How has it already been 2 hours since the audio issues? Time flies. Okay, I don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah, it's the longest I've been live in a long time. When it comes to a chat stream, this is the longest chat stream I've done. You've only been to Wyoming, Virginia, Florida, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Maryland in your lifetime. And of those, I wouldn't... Okay, I'll give you the exception. Beals. Have you been... So the two questions is, have you been to Florida since you moved to Virginia? And did you go to Virginia before you moved there? Or have you been to Virginia while you still lived in Florida? I want to go to Wyoming too. Usually, I'd say I don't count my home state. Okay, so I'll give you the exception. You can count your home states there because you've been to Florida since you moved away and you went to Virginia beforehand. So you went to Virginia when you were still in Florida. Yeah, I don't count North Carolina. And then you went to Florida when you were in Virginia. Yeah, so I'd let you count those. I'd say you can count your states if you've lived in multiple, as long as you've been back to those states, I'd say. Also, you haven't been to Wyoming in 13 years. I haven't been to Wyoming ever. I want to go to Wyoming, though. And then I'd also love to go to Arizona. You've only lived in Alabama? I've only lived in North Carolina. Yeah, I've only lived in North Carolina. Never been. I want to go to Arizona, too. My cousin went to Arizona, so I have a few elevator videos on here. We've had a billion topics. So we started this stream about talking about the audio issues and then going into childhood shows. We went on for a brief minute about, we started quote-unquote drama, which, by the way, isn't drama. We don't start drama here. About pineapple pizza. Pineapple on pizza. And I don't even remember some of these topics. And, like, this is all in the same stream, y'all. See, this is what I love about chat streams like this. By the way, it's 11, so we'll definitely be off here soon. But yeah, dude. You have to tell you the most insane drama, though. Tuesday. Every first Tuesday. Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that ring, I know y'all ain't from North Carolina, but Tuesday is so controversial, absolutely. Some believe it's real, some believe it don't. The most controversial day of the week. I'll be honest. It's probably Sunday, honestly. How did you go sky high to rock bottom so fast? Who, me? Because I'm tired? No, it is 11 p.m., buddy. I'm about to go to bed. Once I get done with the stream, I am going downstairs, brushing my teeth, and passing out. I'm glad I already took my shower. It's never Sunday here, only rain day. True, bro. Sunday is like always the day where we don't get the sun. In fact, what's crazy, we haven't seen the sun on a Sunday. We haven't seen the sun on a Sunday here since frickin' MLK Day weekend. That was 2 weeks. We should start drama about Tuesday not being real, bro. That's crazy. Those first 4 words, though, is like basically the summary of the entire EAS community at this point. Those first 4 words is basically the summary of the EAS community at this point. Yeah. I'm just, yeah, y'all know what I mean. EAS community, let's start drama, bro. Absolutely, that's like every single. I just ignore it. Like, I haven't got involved in, I think, I haven't got involved in a single bit of any of it in the past. Depends, you know. I don't. That's, yeah, a lot of the big ones. Again, most EAS creators are great people. It's just like there's a few bad in the mix that seem to represent the community at this point. You know, that's basically a summary of like all you need to know. Because again, I have some great friends in this, including y'all. Yeah. How to moderator ban YouTuber. That's crazy. I know there's some small. Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna get into those, but we all know there's cases of that as well. But I just, let's not get it. Yeah. There's cases of that, but let's just not get into that. Because I don't like talking about exposed creators on here. This is despicable. What's despicable? Despicable Me. Yes, another childhood classic, by the way. Let's talk about Sean Lennon's UFO sighting instead. Yeah, bro. No, you can't forget about Tom DeLonge of Blink-182. There's literally a Blink-182 song called Aliens Exist. Why do I, as a moderator, have to moderate the moderators even though I can't timeout, delete, or ban moderators as a moderator? That is a good question. The only person who can actually moderate moderators is myself. And I very rarely have to do that because my mods are cool. See, Josh agrees, and plus, because you're a decoy moderator is crazy. Thing is, I actually have a Blink-182 shirt on right now as of doing this stream. I don't, yeah. So, and we just randomly brought up aliens. So I'm like, I thought about that and then just realized I had a Blink-182 shirt on. Yeah, it's the exact same one Josh has too. Well, guess what? What? Yeah, it is the exact same one Josh has too. The white one. The one of the self-titled album. What? What? What do you gotta say, boy? I'm building a ray gun that a styro pyro would. Okay? And that doesn't make you any more cool, buddy. YouTube, please don't ban me for saying that. Honestly, the realest thing ever. Man. Dude, it's been great chatting with y'all, but we've been on since 7:45, which I think is insane. I have never been live this long for something. I have never been live this long on a chat stream. Never. I've been close to this on a chat stream, but never exactly here. But hey, come on. Things like, I like things that shoot electricity and explode. Never, actually, yeah, surprisingly, we never had actually had a stream this long. We had a lot of streams that were about 2 hours. Pinocchio, his nose is going all the way out. Gosh, do you remember that 6-hour stream that I was on the entire... Oh, do you mean the severe weather stream that he got almost 1K views on? His most popular stream is a 6-hour severe weather stream. And what's funny is when you look back at that stream's archive, almost everybody on there is a mod. Proving Josh's point, pointing everybody's point, including Josh's own. Because Josh, you know, as y'all know, it wasn't... Oh, do you mean the 6-hour one recently? I was on, like, I remember that there was that one night, it was like, I think it was Johnny's first premiere. I know we were there. Oh yeah, that one was there as well, but are you talking about the more recent one? Because I remember I was on there. It was it the same night as Johnny's first premiere? Because I remember we were on that night. We were talking about county pronunciations. 6/22/22. If you look back at that archive, you can see almost everybody back then is mods, and about 3/4 of them haven't appeared on a stream in in at least a year, if not longer. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. I wasn't there for that one. Again, I came around in 2023, so I wasn't really there much. Or I came around in 2022, but, you know, I didn't really know y'all until 2023. Including your longest one at 8 hours. I appeared on Zoo. You barely streamed, so your most popular stream has 117 views. I know your last stream was over a year ago. Who knows? When will Neptune stream again? That is a good question. Yeah, stream if you want to. You could definitely be, that'd be cool if you wanted to. You get, even if it's just like one, even, you know, yeah, start streaming again. Maybe during a high risk of it, yeah. You could do a high risk stream. That will get another high risk for a good while. I don't know. It depends on this year, how this year rolls. Man, I just came like to a realization that y'all, I always, okay, yeah, we're about to reach 2 hours on here. But I want to say on this stream alone, we're about to reach 2 hours. But I want to say, this community, y'all are the reason why these streams happen and I still upload. 10 hours. Okay, buddy. I've been live for 11 and a half hours. But I wasn't chatting. In fact, I didn't chat at all in that stream. 55 hours. Longest chat stream ever. Nobody ever, I would never have the time to do a 55-hour stream. In fact, I know that there's a yearly tradition from some EAS YouTubers that to do like a 10-hour chat stream and whatnot. I couldn't do that. Honestly, couldn't do a chat stream longer than about 4 hours. I don't think I'll ever do a 4-hour chat stream. I wouldn't be too surprised if there's one day that I do like a 1 decade chat stream. I would not have the time for that, dude. Especially now, because, like, you know, once I get in with high school, I got to do all the... I don't know if I'm going to college or if I'm doing trade yet. I got to figure that out. College is a... I know college is like a scam, but at the same time, I have heard about me giving grants, so about possibly getting grants because of ADHD and stuff, but, like, at the same time, I don't know if college is right for me. That's just the thing. I don't know about college. I don't know if I'm going to be in college or if I'm just going to do a trade. I'm going to do something, obviously. Got to get myself working. Got to make some moolah. You know, got to make some money. I'll try to... Life of me. A 1 decade chess stream, including following me into my job. I'm not going to go to your college, Josh. Screw that. Classes on Christmas is absolutely wild. Most major universities usually are off for a couple weeks during the holidays. You might go to Boulder or Charlotte for college. If you go to the Charlotte area, or Huntsville is probably going to... If you're going to go to, like, an actual 4-year university where you're going to have to spend money or whatever, Huntsville's going to be your cheapest option, for sure. Because Huntsville is in the state. Huntsville's in state. For college, at least. You want a degree media? Same here, bro. Same here. I know there's a few EAS YouTubers who are working toward meteorology. Antonio is probably the one that comes to mind. In state is cheaper than out of state, yeah. Alrighty, guys, you're gonna go now. Good night. I'm about to go too, so have a good night, and I'm gonna be off in a second since it's just us three for a minute. But yeah, usually the EAS creator who I've seen, I know Antonio is working for it because he actually does meteorology videos for his college. I don't really know many other EAS creators who are in college for meteorology specifically, but there's probably a couple. I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, that is what I'm aiming for if I can go to college, is meteorology. The meteorology school in North Carolina is UNC Asheville. So, y'all, I might be living in Buncombe County. WXL 56 might become my main for 4 years. Or, I don't know. I'll probably come back. I'm probably going to do what then come back here, for winter break and summer break or whatever. But I also got to have a job, so I got to figure out how that's going to go. I am working to get a job soon. Even while I'm still in high school. Once I get my license, which is going to be very soon, I'm probably going to go get a job. But I got to figure out, when I'm going to get a job. It's going to be soon, though. Not too long at all. I don't know where I'm going to be working. You're also working to get a job. Yeah, that is a good thing for you to try to do, Josh. You are 20, so, it's a good thing. Could you bring all your weather radios to college to catch alerts on them? Even if you can't bring every single one, you should be able to bring at least a couple. Yeah, that is a good thing. That is a good thing that you're work toward, Josh, to get a job. Even if it's, you got to start somewhere, so. Howdy, WXL70. What's up, twin? Yeah, you could bring a couple, especially handhelds. Make sure you bring a charger if you bring a handheld, though. That's a no-brainer. Let's go. Man, this is late. Hello, WXL70. That's okay. You might bring your HH. That's a good idea. Bring the HH. What I'm gonna bring is probably the Pro 74. Yeah, y'all. I hope y'all are having a great night. I hope y'all had a great night, y'all, and just playing Call of Duty. What's your opinion on the allegations of your brother WXL42 not existing? Yeah, I get it. I also get, being up. I'm up this late because if you were to be in a 4-year college, you'd bring your ERs and maybe like a 120, 300, and 400. That's. But yeah, I'm gonna work for a meteorology degree. Again, probably UNC Asheville, because that's the only North Carolina school that has a meteorology type thing that they have there. They don't have any other I don't think there's no other meteorology-based schools in the Carolinas. My original plan was to go to Appalachian State, but they don't have any EAS-related stuff there, so. According to Alexa, it doesn't exist. Huntsville is good for meteorology in Alabama. Yeah, if Huntsville has meteorology, that is probably your best thing. Huntsville also gets slammed. Yeah, all parts of Alabama get slammed somewhat. No part of Alabama is immune to tornadoes. You would not work at GSP. Same, probably. I probably would work at another WFO. I might work at GSP, honestly. I don't know. I don't know if they. I've taught my fair share of. I have my fair share of criticisms about GSP, but for the most part, GSP is just, your average WFO. Instead, it's really big, so... Tanner especially isn't immune. It had 3 5s. I hate how they don't tone every alert. Yeah. The only alert... They tone, like, basic alerts, but what happens is... You'd work at CTP or LWX. Yeah. You wouldn't be too far from either one. You'd be... I would probably... Definitely not PHI. Neither... I would not work at PHI. My most likely bet is going to be either FFC or maybe Raleigh, RH. I wouldn't work at ILM. Man, ILM is insane, bro. The amount of ILM memes that exist, everybody be memeing ILM. You're a little bit closer to LWXTTP. Probably so. Honestly, I'm closer to GSP than anything. I'm closer to GSP than anything, but GSP is still about an hour away, so... I'm actually... You'd work at NWS Umpton. Crazy we have no school tomorrow. Yeah, I agree. Like, I thought we were gonna go to school and, like, have a 2-hour delay tomorrow. We're probably gonna have a 2-hour delay Thursday, if I had to guess, but I don't think school will be canceled Thursday. Because any snow that falls tonight is not gonna melt. But I guess any snow falling at an active time just cancels school here. So... Me either. Fun fact, this lasted longer than my first chat stream under the same name. Fun fact. As most of you know, this is Trying Again. The title, which is also the title of my first ever chat stream and my most popular one. Most of y'all remember, Josh remembers that one because that's my first ever official chat stream. My first ever one that got archived. And basically what started the streaming era. It just felt great to have all my community come together and, we all had, actually talk, whatnot. We had some surprising, I don't remember everybody who was on there, but I do remember that we had a few surprises, I'd say. And again, no drama. I've never actually had a stream that I've ever gotten directly involved in drama while in it. Thankfully. I know you weren't there then, but you weren't there that one. You were there the next one, I think. Best game of all time. I was playing GTA. I usually play GTA 5. I love GTA. Yeah, I know you weren't there, Neptune. You were at the next one, I think. I remember it was like the basic community that I had previously at first. Basal 70 playing games. Probably gonna miss GSP's next SVR. Probably so. I don't doubt it. GSP's next SVR will likely be in sometime this month, which will be their first of the year. Our last one was in December. It's like your streaming area continues unless you decide to end it or YouTube screw it up. Your streaming era was at. Did your streaming era ever even have a true peak? You're predicting BMX will issue a TR this month. I am predicting GSP will issue an SVR. Probably not a TR, though. I don't know. We might get a TR. I don't even know when your streaming peak would be, Josh. The peak of my streaming era was August. For sure. August. We never had a TOA. Yo, should I stream more often? I would say, if you want to, yeah. Not sure. Not sure, but you know you've been streaming for almost 4 years. For 4 years almost, yeah. You've had a few empty moments where you wouldn't do a chat stream for like 2 or 3 weeks, but you'd still stream at that time. Like, the closest thing you'd have is an RWT stream. So, yeah, y'all. 2 hours and 12 minutes. Dang, y'all. I think it's about time we wrap it up. We have been live for 3.5 hours. It'll help build a community, too. That's what I can say. I learned that. Because I'm pretty sure most of you know, I know a lot of my current EAS friends through live streaming, so. Yes, I know. Also, Josh, don't insult me like that. Hey, we're down at the Y's, so good night. Okay, but in all seriousness, yeah, more commentary because I don't chat much during my severe weather compilations. LOL, sorry. I'm messing around, you know, I'm not serious about it. I get it. I keep yapping, because that's what I do every stream, bro. I can. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who came on tonight. We had a great chat, and I think I should just go down and brush my teeth, because my breath probably smells really bad, and sleep. I agree, we did have a really good snowstorm, winter storm, Gina. But anyway, I really hope y'all have a great night, and take care, take it easy, try to stay out of drama, y'all. Take it easy, and you will do a chat stream tomorrow. Okay, if you do a stream tomorrow, I'll hop on. But until then, y'all, have a good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.